inkproducts.com has now released its new Executive Series 3 continuous ink system for the Workforce 2540 and 2530. Our new Executive Series got a lot of new features. We've redesigned the ink tank, redesigned all the cartridges, have the new COC smart chip, resets all the colors back to full. No need for backflow dampers because our cartridges now have their own backflow damper. You're going to get 4 refilling syringes, special purge tip for the cartridge, a Printhead priming tool tip. You're going to get safety catches to hold the system so it can't be knocked over. You also get different hose brackets. Color can vary because we use different ones. It's going to be very simple to operate this new system. No need to rock the bottles. You don't have to do that anymore. You're going to be able to fill the bottles right through the top with the syringe and a long tip that we're going to give you. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is open the lid, go to menu, go to ink levels, say OK. I'm going to go to change cartridges. Now they're going to move over. Now these are our refillable cartridges. I'll remove them, and then I'm going to show you how to install our continuous ink system cartridges. Okay, I removed the refillable cartridges. Now what I'm going to do is unplug the printer from the wall, so I'll be able to move the cartridge assembly back and forth for hose travel. Okay, now to install the cartridges, I slide them in backwards like this. And then they're gonna come out over here, and you just keep. There you go. Now I got them out. Now I unplugged it, so I'll be able to move this, but you want to keep it in that position. The cartridges right in. Now it's very important when you push down, you hear them click in. They've got to click in, otherwise you cannot recognize the cartridges. So, once you push down, you'll hear the click. There you go, I'm pushing the top of the tab. I clicked them in. Make sure, check it again. Oh, there you go, it's clicked in. Now, I can move the cartridges all the way over to the left side. Now this is important. See the way the hose is wrapping around and coming out? You want it that way. You want to get it so when it goes all the way over, it makes a nice bend. So whichever way you have to flip it, because sometimes when you're working on it, it'll flip on you. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to put the one hose bracket right here underneath this little catch that's in the center of the printer. Now if you want, you can put it on ahead of time if that's easier for you. Now I slipped on one of the hose bracket. Now it's going to be, it can come in different colors. We have different ones. That's what I'll show you. There'll be one of those that you're going to get, but you're going to peel and stick it right there. See if I can get a side shot. Right there. Okay, I just peeled it and stuck it down almost to the bottom here. Want it to get down low. So then when you do hose travel, you're going to push this all the way over. See the way it turned? That's what you want. Now you might want to make sure it's not too much slack over here, but you don't want it so much that it's pulling on the cartridges. So I go back and forth. That's it. I've already installed it. Okay, now I've got the other hose bracket. I've peeled the tape, and I'm going to stick it right about there. That holds it. So then the ink tank can sit right next to it. Okay, now I already put on my safety catch. Already put it to the ink tank. I'm going to peel off the next thing. I've got them together. Okay, now I'm going to turn it. And then I'll be able to push it right next to the printer. Push it and hold it there for a minute. Within 24 hours, that'll really set up. There you go. Now you can lift it up to take it and fill it, or all you'd have to do is open this up. Now I'm going to open up the little plugs. I keep the big ones closed. Now you can fill through the big ones, or even with the syringe and a long tip, you'll be able to fill right through the little hole. So you don't have to even move the tank. You'll be able to go in, fill it up, just like that. And then just close this up, and this will protect the ink from a lot of light and dust. Okay, the system's installed. I already did hose travel. Now we'll go plug it in and turn it on. Now I want to point this out. You don't want to install our continuous ink system if one of your Epson cartridges went empty. You want to do a nozzle check. You want to make sure you're getting a good nozzle pattern before installing a continuous ink system. That's very important because you'll never know if you're having a problem with your printhead or with the continuous ink system. Now this little tool that we make will prime up your printhead should you not have Epson cartridges. This also primes our new cartridges. You're going to get that in the kit with the 4 syringes and all the parts and pieces you need. Now you'll be able to close the lid. That's it. Now if you cannot recognize the cartridges when you first put it in, that's because you haven't pushed it down and locked in the cartridges. So press OK. It's going to move over. OK. Now you want to check that you put it all the way down and you clicked all of those things in. Okay. It's usually the one in the back that's the hardest one. There it is. That's the one that was giving me the trouble. Now you can press OK. It's going to check the cartridges. Now, if the cartridges were installed correctly, you'll get this message. You have not installed genuine Epson cartridges. Click OK. OK. Got to go through this. Move the arrow up. Say OK. Now the system is installed. That's how simple it was. Okay, now I'm going to go to menu and I'm going to do a nozzle check. I might do one cleaning, but first I go to maintenance. I got nozzle check. Say OK. Now I'm going to do a nozzle check. Also, I'm going to watch my hose travel to make sure that it's not too tight or there's way too much hose in there. That's reading the chips. Open up the paper tray at the bottom here. I'm going to point something out. There's a sensor right here. That sensor shines through the bottom of the cartridge. So on these new cartridges, our new CIS cartridges, we put something on the bottom so it can't detect the ink level and shut you down, because you're using a continuous ink system. You don't need that. But a lot of the cheaper systems, they don't do that, so you keep getting error codes. That's why the COC Smart Chip is the best chip to use. Because once I squeeze that button, it resets all the colors. I don't have to go through more and more cleanings every time I reset a color. Now you cannot run the printer with the lid open. You need to close it when you're done. Because if you get too much light on that sensor, or if you don't trigger the little switch on the top of the scanner, it won't work. Okay, the system's now installed. I've got all the hose clips for the hoses installed. My safety catch has been installed. I opened up all the back air plugs. No need to balance this ink tank. It's a newly designed ink tank and isobaric chamber. You're going to get fill syringes with long 3-inch tips. So when you want to fill, all you do is go right in the top hole, the air hole. It's going to fill it right there. Now on the syringes, it says discard after use. These are veterinarian syringes, so just ignore that. Don't wash them out. Just put them aside. You can mark on them what color you used them for. Here's a special Printhead priming tool. CIS cartridge priming tool. And the safety kit. You all get that with the kit. This holds a lot more ink than Executive Series 1. Now that's what it's supposed to look like when you get done installing. You've got good hose. Hose comes off, wraps around, comes out the bottom, connects to the ink tank. Now you can close it. I'm going to do a nozzle check. Okay, there's the nozzle check. Everything looks excellent. Okay, now I'm going to print this document out here. You can see I have a lot of color here. So I'm going to go up to File, Print. Now I picked the printer I'm going to use. We have a lot of printers here. So I'm going to say the 240. I'm sorry. Pick the printer. It's going to say 2540. Go to Properties. Okay, on Properties, what I want to do is I'm going to leave plain paper. Now I can set my quality for high. Or if I want to, I can go into more settings and move my quality up. So if you want to get a real nice printout, you can move your quality up. I'm going to leave it right there. Now the reason why you want to run it like this, you'll put more ink in the printhead, you'll cut down on cleanings. If you run draft, that printhead's going to clean and waste more ink. I would not do that. Set it like that for everything. You get it all set up, and you can go to print. Say OK. Now you'll get, something will pop up and tell you they're not genuine Epson. So you just have to hit continue. Now we'll go back to the printer. Let's take a look what's coming out. Now for the video, I've opened up the lid. So I want you to watch this. See how smooth that hose is moving back and forth? That's what you want. But also, we're getting a solid coverage. of color. If you set it the way I showed you on the computer, you'll cut down on cleanings, you won't waste as much ink, actually you'll save ink, and you won't fill up your ink waste pads. I'll point this out. You want the hose to go up and come up high and come in here. You don't want it to hit this corner. That's why you do hose travel. Okay, now I'm done. Got a solid color all the way. That's how simple it was to install our new Epson Executive Series 3. A lot of nice features we put in this. Made it a lot easier to fill the bottles. Gave you the tools to fill the bottles. And I'm going to point this out, that sensor again. I'll show you what we did to override that sensor. Now to override the sensor, we put these little blocks in the bottom of the new CIS cartridges. So it cannot detect ink levels and shut you down. We do the same thing on our refillables. So that sensor, when it's looking for ink levels, that blocks it. That's why these new cartridges that we're using, with the backflow damper included, are awesome. Especially with the COC Smart Chip. Because then all you have to do is squeeze the button once, and you'll reset all the ink levels.